Hi everyone, Chris and Marina here, and we are so excited because we are back at Knott's Berry Farm for the Taste of Boysenberry Festival, and we invite you to join us on this episode of The Walker Chronicles.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm delightful. I'm rich. Thank you for asking. How are you doing today?
It's fantastic. It's a beautiful day.
You could not have asked for a better day to eat boysenberries and drink a little booze with boysenberries in them. Absolutely not. You had anything to eat yet, friend?
Not yet. Just got here.
Yeah, well, if I may make a recommendation, start with the saloon.
Okay.
That boysenberry that just takes that knot out the back of your shoulders, that stress, and you'll approach the day with a clearer head, if I may say.
Perfect.
You hop in your wagon for a while and enjoy the bar.
You got it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you for joining us.
Alright, so here we have from Sutter's Grill. They are the Beyond Meatballs with cauliflower rice and pita bread. So this is a non-meat option. I happen to love Beyond Meat. So let's see what this tastes like here at Knott's. That was a perfect bite. The textures of the tender meat along with a little bit of a bite of the cauliflower, the tang of the cauliflower rice and the sweetness of the meatball. I think this is really, really good. I would definitely order this again.
So now it's my turn to give the old Beyond Meatballs a try. I like regular meat, and I also like a lot of the vegan meat as well, so this looks like it might be pretty tasty. That actually is really good. The boysenberry tang is actually quite strong in the barbecue sauce. I actually really like it. I thought it was going to be a little lighter based on what Marina said, but I actually like it quite a bit. Much, much, much better when it's all mixed together. I really enjoyed this dish. I would get this again.
Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar with plant-based meats and maybe you're curious and would like to try, this would be a really great option for you. They're small bites. I cannot tell the difference between this and meat, and that's why I happen to enjoy it so much. So if you're curious about plant-based meat, you might want to give this a try because it's really good. Alright, so also here from Sutter's Grill, we have some bao buns, some pork bao buns with boysenberry kimchi and nampla. I'm not sure what nampla is, but it doesn't look very appetizing. The kimchi in the tray looks a little watery, but let's give it a try and see what it tastes like. It's good, but it's not great. So the kimchi is the star of the show for me on this entree. That cinnamon or nutmeg taste that's maybe in the meat of the bao bun just kind of kills this for me. So unfortunately, this is a no-go. Meow, meow, meow.
So this is one of the items on the tasting card that I was really looking forward to. I got this at the Silver Billet booth, which is right next to the Dippin' Dot station over there. And this is a boysenberry barbecue brisket mixed in with mac and cheese. I really like both of those items separate, and I think they're gonna mix really well together. So there's only one way to find out, and we will now give it a taste. Make sure I get, oh, there we go. There's some of the brisket that I couldn't see very well. Let's see here. I think that's really good. The brisket definitely has the barbecue flavor to it. It has the boysenberry sauce. The mac and cheese is really creamy. This mac and cheese has not been sitting in that tray all day. And that's what I was concerned about. It's really tasty. I could probably eat way too much of this. I think Marina's gonna enjoy this one as well. I would highly recommend this. This is pure comfort food.
All right, so I'm a big fan of macaroni and cheese. Usually just macaroni and cheese with nothing else on it. Looking at this, it didn't seem like it had much of the beef brisket, but they kind of snuck it in at the bottom, so you might have to dig for it, but it's there. Well, unfortunately, this is one of the reasons why I kind of like just mac and cheese by itself. The barbecue sauce on the brisket adds a little bit too much sweetness to it. I don't think it's a good combination of the cheese and the sweetness of the boysenberry barbecue sauce on it. And unlike Chris, I think this macaroni has been sitting a little bit too long. I think it's a little overcooked. This is a no-go for me, unfortunately.
I reject that totally.
Can't win them all. So here we have from Fiesta Dogs the etouffee shrimp and boysenberry sausage over rice with naan bread. Whew, that was a mouthful. This is really, really good. The sausage is really flavorful, still tender. The shrimp is not tough at all. It's cooked really, really well. The rice, although you do kind of have to dig for it, it is there and it's nice and tender, no hard pieces of rice. The sauce though, maybe a little bit more abundant on the sauce than the rest of the components of the dish, but overall, I love this.
All right, so now it's my turn with the etouffee. I am a fan of etouffee as well, so I'm looking forward to this dish. Marina obviously very much enjoyed this, but yeah, she also really didn't like the mac and cheese, so we have to really, not sure if we should trust her palate or not. But let's give this a shot with some of the sausage first. That is really good sausage. The sauce I really like. There's only a little bit of rice that I got so far, but it is so far it's very good. I don't want to say she's right, but so far she's right. It's really good. It's a very well balanced dish. Definitely the best thing we've had today so far, I would say. Yeah. All right, so here we are at the Boardwalk Barbecue right now, and we have gotten the boysenberry meatloaf with scalloped potatoes, as well as some Brussels sprouts with a boysenberry balsamic glaze. It actually looks good. The meatloaf smells good. I can smell the Brussels sprouts as well, which not always the best smell, but I've come to like Brussels sprouts a lot. But yeah, it looks great. I think I'm gonna dive in and try some of the meatloaf first here. Let's see a second. It tastes really good. It tastes more like Salisbury steak than it does than meatloaf to me, but that's not a bad thing. I just don't know that I would call it meatloaf. But it is very tasty. I don't taste much boysenberry on it. It just tastes like a decent Salisbury steak. Try some of the potatoes now. They're just very dry potatoes. I wouldn't even call them scallop. They taste like slices of potatoes that have been cooked. So potatoes, not excited about. Meatloaf, tastes good, but doesn't taste like meatloaf. And then lastly here we have our Brussels sprouts. And these are really big pieces. Let me try to get a smaller piece out. Smells good. You can definitely smell the Brussels sprout as well as the balsamic. They taste fine. Once again, I don't taste any boysenberry, but they do taste like cooked Brussels sprouts. I wish they were a little crispier.
My turn. Let's give this a taste. Here is the meatloaf. Just like Chris said, this is definitely a Salisbury steak. Moist, tender, flavorful. There's a hint of sweetness from the sauce. It tastes good. I like it, but I wouldn't call it a meatloaf. Let's try these potatoes now. The potatoes they're cooked nicely. You can taste the cheese, but a scalloped potato is usually kind of saucy. This doesn't have any of that. I think they're seasoned nice. The flavor of the dish is nice, but there needs to be a little bit of a saucy cheese sauce over it, and it's just not happening here. Now let's try these Brussels sprouts here. Brussels sprouts, they're just okay. They need more of that sugar from the boysenberry glaze. They don't taste sweet at all, unfortunately. And they're a little bit overcooked. So I would pass on the Brussels sprouts. This is just maybe a better use of your ticket somewhere else.
Yes, we are.
Nice to see you. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris! Well, welcome to the Boysenberry Test Kitchen. My name is Lotta Leftovers. Why do people laugh at my name? I don't understand.
I don't know either.
Well, tell me, what is your favorite ingredient?
Boysenberry.
Well, that makes sense. Good place. We're here at Boysenberries. Okay, well, we're just going to take some boysenberries, put them in our bowl here. And you, what is your favorite ingredient? What is it? Pie crust. Well, this is all working out for us then.
Yes, it is.
Okay, some pie crust. What is your favorite ingredient? Oh, this is actually maybe gonna work out. Boysenberry pie crust. What's yours? Butter. Okay, butter. Okay, we're just gonna take it. We're gonna put this glorious glump in the oven here. Does someone smell something smoking? Oh! Oh! Maybe that is why they call me Lotta Leftovers.
right, so from Chowhound Ice Cream, we have and my all-time favorite, Boysenberry Ice Cream Float. If you're coming to a Boysenberry Festival, this is a must. It is delicious, and it's quite warm here today, so we had to get this. I know it's gonna be wonderful, but let's give it a try. Just as wonderful as I remember it. This is so smooth, cool. I really need this because, like I said, it's really warm today. Not overly sweet, even though you have an icy and an ice cream, some vanilla ice cream at the bottom. It's just perfect on a day like this. So we did get a little bit of a surprise. It wasn't something that was on the website, but when you come in, they're gonna hand you this card about an Easter egg hunt. And on the back, you will find a QR code and you scan it with your phone. Once you scan your QR code, it takes you to a site that there's basically a message from the Easter Bunny, and it says, "Greetings, I need your help. I'm not afraid to ask it. Clumsy me, some eggs fell out of my basket. Retrace my steps from the clues I will share. Eggs are fragile, so proceed with care. Are you up to the task? Can you do it? I know you can, so let's hop to it." Now, if I remember my route, it took me near the ghost town jail or thereabout. I think this is where the first eggs may have fallen out. I recall chatting with a man named Joe. Do you know him? You do? Well then, let's go. So let's go.
Hey, Joe.
Hey folks, how you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
Are you having yourselves a good time today?
We're having a great
Oh,
time.
that's good.
But we heard from the Easter Bunny that he may have left some eggs around here and thought you might know where they are.
That's true. I heard that little fella out there was making enough noise putting it out there.
Yeah?
If you look around, I think you'll see it.
All right, so right over here?
Yes, indeed. And you see that little fella, you tell him, come back over here and get that egg, okay?
Will do.
His name is Eggert.
Egbert?
Eggert.
All right, thanks,
Thanks,
Joe.
Hey.
I know a little secret about him, too.
What's that?
You know what the Easter Bunny's favorite music is?
What's that?
Hip-hop.
Ah. And there's the next one. Let's go figure it out.
It says, "You found it. 1 down, 5 more to go. Cattywampus favorite, a cream-filled egg."
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, off to see the Cattywampus.
Oh, there we go.
It says, "Fantastic, you're on a roll. The Calico Toy Shop window is where you should stroll." Charlie Brown and his faithful dog Snoopy. You found 2 eggs, but for more help I'm wishing. And what better place than a hole great for fishing?
Oh, we know where that is.
Let's go. You're doing dandy. From here I went to the cabin that sells lots of candy.
Woo, off to the candy store.
Extraordinary work, but this next task will need great concentration as you use the eggs above to decode your next destination.
Okay.
All right, it looks like we're off to Fiesta Village. Let's go.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! You found your 4th egg. 2 more to go. Muchas gracias means thanks a lot. Now on to the next egg. You're getting hot. What are you waiting for?
Get your bunny hopping.
I never thought I'd finish painting that house.
Moving on. Excuse me, may I ask what you do for work?
I work for...
Way to go, Daddy-O. You did it. You found it. You are my new hero. The number of lost eggs is fast approaching 0.
Off to Knott's Berry Tales.
Berry Tales, here we go. You did it! We did it. Found all the missing eggs. There's only one thing left to do, and that's for us to meet. Me and you. Hop down memory lane where you'll see my picture on the after marquee. At the top of the ramp is where you'll want to be. See you soon!
Oh, I think we're off
Let's
to
go!
see that up there.
right, so here we have the shrimp and grits from Coaster's Drive-In. I was a little surprised when it came out because I could count exactly 3 shrimp, and it was kind of hard to see because they're like covered in this boysenberry sauce, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry, 3.5 shrimp, maybe 4. Yeah, I guess Knott's has kind of spoiled us. Serving sizes have generally been pretty large. This one's kind of small, but maybe because of what it is, it's shrimp. Maybe that's the reason, but it looks interesting. So I'm gonna give it a try and tell you what I think about it. Wow. It may not look pretty, but it tastes really good. The grits, super buttery, spiced really well. The salt level is perfection. I haven't tried the shrimp. I'm a little worried about the shrimp. They look a little rubbery, but the grits and the boysenberry sauce are everything so far. Okay, let's try the shrimp now. I'm not sure which one I like better, the etouffee or this one.
Wow.
This one is pretty good. I would highly recommend this. Even if you don't get the shrimp, these grits with the sauce, fantastic. And even though Chris didn't give his review, as you can see, we shared this dish and it was really scrumptious. So this is a highly recommended on the Walker Chronicles list. So make sure you get this when you come down.
Built everybody in my car's gonna take a little nap. Move on out, boozing and cruising along.
Got this at the Pie Bake Shop, and it's actually a decorate-yourself cookie. Open up a little kit here. You can see there are 2 cookies that are undecorated. Pull these out. There is also a small bag of icing, along with what look like to be some boysenberry and white sprinkles that you can put on top of the icing. Very, very cool. And the part that we didn't realize is that it also came with these really cool straws that you can take. Obviously have nothing to do with the cookie, but I'm guessing if you're gonna have any milk or whatever you else want with it. But they asked us which ones we wanted, and I picked a Charlie Brown, and Marina picked Joe Cool, which is obviously Snoopy's alter ego. But a very cool little kit. It'd be great obviously for kids or somebody like myself who likes to control the amount of icing on my cookie. So,
or if you don't want to eat all your desserts here.
Yes, you can actually take this home. So this is something that actually comes in a box, which is one of the few things that actually comes in a box, so you can take it home. But it's a great little idea. So we're actually going to take it home and decorate it when we get there. So what we have here is the pastrami sandwich on a pretzel bun with provolone cheese, and it normally comes with a boysenberry mustard. I got it on the side because we're not a big fan of mustard, but Marina is. I have to admit that it looks fantastic. It is a hot sandwich.
Delicious.
It does. It smells delicious. It looks delicious, and my expectations are very high, so I'm hoping it's gonna be very good. The pastrami is nice and wet because it came out of this big
chafing dish?
This chafing dish that they had there. So it might be a little messy, but we'll give this thing a shot and try not to make it look too bad here. Let's see. This now takes the cake for the best thing I've had today.
Uh-oh.
I wish I would have gotten this earlier in the day when I had more tastings available on the card, because this is fantastic. I would have wanted one of these for myself. It's really that good.
And now you're mad you have to
tasty.
share.
I'm not mad. If I really want one, I can go buy one. But the pastrami is very flavorful. The provolone cheese is melted into it. The pretzel bun is great. I mean, it really is a great sandwich. I
And
mean, it's
this-
really fantastic.
This is what you said. This is the best thing you've had all day.
It is. I mean, I love the etouffee. I really enjoyed the shrimp and grits, but this right here is something I would want right now. I mean, I can see myself, if this was sold somewhere, I would drive somewhere to buy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it really is that good. I don't know how far I drive, but it really is good. It's better than most pastrami sandwiches that I've had. It's really good. The pretzel bun is a really nice touch. The provolone cheese is the perfect cheese for this type of sandwich. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna love it.
All right, so it's my turn, and I have put a smear of mustard on it, and have high expectations. Chris gave his review, and now it's my turn. I have to agree with Chris. This is a really good sandwich. For me, it's a smidge too salty, just a smidge. And maybe it's because of the mustard, adding a little bit extra tang, and I'm confusing it for salt. But it's really good. The pretzel bread is nice and soft. The meat is nice, flavorful and tender. This is a really good sandwich. I don't know if I would say it's the best thing I've had here today, but this is definitely in the top 3. So I highly recommend. Chris highly recommends. So this would be a Walker recommendation or a Walker approved sandwich. So here we have from the Ghost Town Bakery, the bread pudding with creme anglaise. I am a big bread pudding snob, so they have a lot to live up to, but looks pretty good, pretty decent. So let's give it a shot and see how it ranks. Really, really good. The bread pudding is warm, so when you look at the case doesn't have bread pudding in it. It's all in chafing dishes behind the counter, along with the creme anglaise. The creme anglaise is super smooth, not super sweet, just the right, this whole thing is just the right amount of sweet for me. And I'm not huge, I don't have a huge sweet tooth, but I do like some sweet, and this fits the ticket.
So what we have here is boysenberry cake with a boysenberry cream cheese frosting. We got this at the Ghost Town Bakery. It looks okay. It doesn't look fantastic, but I do love cake and I do love frosting. So I'm hoping that it's actually going to be good. I know a lot of times when you have cake at these theme parks, they end up being very dry. So I'm hoping that that's not the case, but let's give it a shot. So it tastes really good, but the cake is dry. But there is a very strong boysenberry flavor from both the icing as well as the cake. I still enjoy it. Cake doesn't have to be completely moist for me to enjoy it because I just like cake. But it is very sweet, which I do like. But it's a good dessert. It's nothing fantastic, but it's not too often you actually have boysenberry cake. And since I'm here at Knott's Berry Farm and we're celebrating boysenberries, I had to get it and I'm going to enjoy it.
Sounds interesting.
Okay.
Try that
Do
one.
the cheaper one.
I could be wrong though.
No, we understand. We understand.
All right. So you cut them open. They look like this. You turn it over. Looks like this. I'm just kidding. Inside.
Oh, look at that.
Now this, I have a customer that comes regularly. He would give you a lot of money for this right here. It's not worth a thing. But he wants this pressure dome of manganese with quartz on top because he thinks it's smoky quartz, and I'm trying to convince him it's not.
Well,
But it does look
don't
really
convince
cool.
him.
But you got a nice little twinned stalactitic growth here. Not stalactites, because those form in caves from a calcium carbonate. This is quartz that just resembles a stalactite growth. So we call it stalactitic crystal habit. A little bit of pink in here from hematite and volcanic ash mixed together, and a little bit of black from manganese. Really pretty.
Very cool.
38 million years old. Going to be really sparkly when it dries, and a really nice pressure dome of manganese.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Very nice.
Should I get the guy's number? Just kidding.
No.
Hey everybody, so we just finished up at Knott at the Taste of Boysenberry Festival. We actually had a really good time. It seems like every event that Knott's has put on so far this past year has been kind of a home run. We've always really enjoyed ourselves, and this one was no exception.
So we really hope that you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to our channel, as it really helps our channel grow. And until the next video, we will see you on the next episode of
The Walker Chronicles.